I'm filming in the daytime and without makeup on. I'm either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid, but it's been a while, 2 weeks, and a lot has happened, and I'm very excited to do this video because I'm feeling amazing at the moment. That's kind of why I haven't been making videos the past couple of weeks. I find it when I'm happy and I talk about things that can make me sad, I try to avoid that. That's why I have a really bad habit of when everything's going okay, I kind of stop looking after myself mental health wise. Like, I stop going to see therapists, I stop talking about how I'm feeling because I'm worried it's going to bring me down. But no, I'm back. Last video, I think I talked about how I got my job. I am so excited. I've been there for 2 weeks now, and it has been amazing. I think I talked about last time how I felt that they were family, and it has been feeling that way for the past 2 weeks. I'm slowly gaining more confidence. It's always tough going into a new job. I always second guess myself. My manager said to me, "Oh, I really like that you're always asking if you're doing this correctly." And I said, "Oh, thanks, it's the anxiety," because I'm always so scared that I'm going to get something wrong, that I constantly double check that I'm going to get it right because I'm so petrified. I don't like making mistakes. Like, I sent out an email last week and I didn't attach the document that needed it, and it was an easy fix. It wasn't a big issue. Oh god. Yeah. Sorry. It wasn't a big issue, but like I panicked when the email came back and they're like, you didn't attach the document. I was like, oh my god, I really messed up. But no, it really wasn't that big of a deal. No, it's been lots of fun. I really enjoy everyone that I'm working with. Being given responsibilities I haven't been given before, which is really exciting. I'm doing a newsletter for the company, and that's very exciting. We're actually doing a mental health special because we've signed up with this. It's not a charity, it's more just a group, and I can't remember what they're called. It's Trade something. Is it Trademark? No. Anyway, basically what they've done is if they've created, because the company I work in does a type of construction. It's a very niche industry, so I don't want to say what it is. But they make these, the high-vis shirts that people in construction have to wear. They've made those but have designed them to be really out there. So with really, really nice designs. So for one day of each week, the boys that are out on the jobs, on the sites, are going to be wearing the shirts. We were having a look at them, and the girls that I work with all said they liked one that had a lot of purple and blue in it. And when they asked me what I thought, I really liked the one that had a lot of yellow in it. And the reason I said that I like the yellow is because that is the colour that Are You OK, which is a charity organisation dedicated to mental health users. So I was like, well, if we're doing kind of a mental health awareness and trade, why don't we use a colour that's also connected to a charity that talks about mental health? And the girls really like that. So the boys are going to be wearing the yellow-based ones, and we're actually going to get them ourselves. We're going to wear them in the office, which is really exciting. So we're getting the purple and the blue ones. But no, I'm doing a newsletter, special in the newsletter about mental health, because May is Mental Health Month. So what we're looking at doing is kind of the last 2 weeks of April and then the first 2 weeks of May. So we were thinking April, but also April is like a hard month because you've got, for Australia, you've got Anzac Day as well as Easter and all that. So it's Anzac Day's in April, isn't it? Oh god, sorry, my brain's not working. It's a big month of lots of time off. You get, I think, 3 public holidays, maybe 2. And then because they're in construction, they also get a rostered day off, which is when they get an extra day, which is really, I've never seen that before, so that's really cool that the boys kind of get that. Yeah, it's really exciting. Kind of at the moment, the newsletter I've put in about stigma. I'm very open about that stigma exists, and you can't pretend that it doesn't. I was very open with this business that I've just gone into about my mental health. You know, during my initial interview, I said that I just signed up with a disability organisation that was going to help me get a job. And then when I went back for that, basically for them to offer me the job, my manager supervisor, I was very open with her in saying what's happened and how it's affected me in the past. I've never ever felt comfortable enough to do that, and it was really nice to have, you know, that open communication where I was straight out able to say, this is what's wrong with me, this is how it's affected me. I don't plan on it affecting me, but she was very understanding. From what she said, she has suffered similar issues. So it's really, really good that I have somebody who understands it. And no, everyone in the team that I've met is really nice. All the office people are absolutely amazing. And then you've got all the boys out on the site. So why am I yawning? Oh, very attractive. But no, all the boys I've talked to out on the sites are very nice. So I'm really enjoying it. 2 weeks in, 2 weeks going good. And it's good to be getting back into a routine. Because when I was out of a job, whenever I'm out of a job, even on weekends, I have a really bad habit of sleeping my problems away. You know, I'm in a what's the quote, non-committal relationship with death. It's sleeping is just kind of like death. So I am one of those people that sleeps my problems away. If I'm having a tough time, I spend the whole time sleeping because it makes the day go faster and I don't have to face my problems as much. So oh god, far out. This is really bad. It's a really bad video. No, I'm really enjoying it, and it's getting me back into a routine. And, you know, the great thing was the other day I had a shit day because I can actually tell the story in a second. We had some issues. But you know what? I went home at the end of the day and I still felt good, and that's something I haven't felt in a long time. You know, if I've had a shit day, it's completely drained me of all my energy and everything. So it's been really good to be able to have a shit day and come home and still say, I feel okay. Now the issue was, this was on Wednesday. It was really, really lots of fun. The phones just died. So first of all, the internet died, and because the phones are connected to the internet, they also died. So I called the IT team. They came over. They were able to fix the internet, but they weren't able to fix the phone. So they recommended that we call Telstra. Not a problem. I haven't dealt with Telstra before. I use a different phone company. My family uses a different phone company, so I've never had to deal with Telstra myself. So that was an interesting experience. So I talked to one gentleman. He went through all the troubleshooting with me. You know, not a problem. I'm not the best with computers. I have a basic understanding, but when it comes to the more sophisticated things, such as I'm very scared of always pulling out the wrong cable. So when he's like, oh, you have to find the cable that's connected and there's like 10 coming out of them, he's like, just pull it out. I'm going, yeah, no, I don't want to just pull it out. But we got through the troubleshooting and didn't work. So he said, okay, I can't help you any further. You got to call this other team and they'll be able to help you. Okay, not a problem. Thank you for your help. Call this other team and they say, oh, because I'm new to the company, I'm not on any of their kind of authorized user things, authorized access things. So he said, oh god, I can't stop yawning. Oh, let's try that again. So he said, I can't talk to you because you're not an authorized access user. All right, fair enough. I've got someone next to me who is an authorized access user because they're the owner of the company. Can you talk to them? No, because I'm talking to you right now. I can't talk to them. Oh, great. All right. What can we do? Well, I'm going to put you through. I'm going to get you to call this team and they're going to do all the troubleshooting with you. All right. But I just did all the troubleshooting with that team. Is there anything else you can do? No, sorry. And that was the end of the call. So that was great. So that was probably over an hour between the two of them. And then I got the company owner or one of the higher ups to call them. Turns out it was a big deal across New South Wales. It wasn't just kind of our thing going wrong. So yeah, we didn't hear back from Telstra even though they said it was going to be in 2 hours. But we did have this person call up who straight away there were like red flags going up everywhere because he was like, "You have to pay me in cash the minute I get there." And we were kind of like, "What? If you work for Telstra?" Because he said he worked for Telstra. We were thinking, well, if you work for Telstra, don't they pay you? And he was like saying, "Oh, I'm not going to turn up to a job and not get paid." And we're kind of going, "Hang on a second." So that was kind of funny. And then yeah, that was really funny that we all just kind of looked at each other at the end of the call because he was really aggressive and just like, okay, so that was something. But no, so overall, because the phones went down, we didn't get them, like they went down at 9:30 a.m. You know, we work 9 to 5, so that means for 7.5 hours out of the 8-hour shift I did, you know, there was no phones available, and that means we were losing business. So just a little bit stressful, but you know, again, overall, I went home. I was a little stressed out about it, but I was fine. What else has happened in the past few weeks? Oh, I went and saw Queen. Now I'm showing that I'm lying in bed. I went and saw Queen, and it was freaking amazing. I am one of do I want to give myself that title? I am a very big Queen fan. I won't say I'm one of the biggest because I recognise that there is bigger fans out there than me that have been to like their concerts since Freddie Mercury was around. Unfortunately, because I wasn't born then, I didn't get the opportunity. Had I been born, oh my god, you know, I think the first ever song I knew the lyrics to, like when I was a kid, was Bohemian Rhapsody. You know, we had the greatest hits album, you know, the 3 CD album, and my dad would always play the first CD. And when I was a toddler, he was trying to teach me rhythm. We would listen to "We Will Rock You," and he'd get me to clap along to the beat to teach me rhythm. And that's like one of my earliest memories is sitting in the car going to get Adrienne from primary school and doing the clapping along with the song. And oh, I love Queen so much. You know, I started having a greater appreciation for them as I got older. I was so stoked when the Bohemian Rhapsody movie was coming out because I was so excited to see Rami Malek and kind of go into that world of seeing Freddie Mercury. And I recognised that, you know, it's not 100% accurate, but still, it was just amazing. And when I heard they were coming to Australia, I was so friggin' excited. Brian May and Roger Taylor, like half of Queen. Like, yes, I wish I could have seen Freddie and John, but you know what? The fact that I got to see the greatest guitar player and the greatest drummer I've ever heard. Oh my god, I was so excited. And it was amazing. It truly was. I thought I'd be disappointed because it wasn't Freddie and it was Adam Lambert. I thought Adam wouldn't live up to it, but 100%, like, if there was anyone that could carry on Freddie Mercury's legacy, it's Adam Lambert. He was so amazing, and not once did he try to be Freddie. You know, he even said, "I recognise I'm not Freddie. I'm a fan just like you guys. I love their music, and it's such an honour to be up here and performing it." And I just kind of went, that's really amazing. And he gave it everything, and he's made it his own. And do I wish I could have seen Freddie? Yes, of course. I think any Queen fan that didn't get the opportunity to see them when Freddie was around they could have seen him. But Adam Lambert was so amazing that while I was watching him, I wasn't thinking he's not as good or I wish it was Freddie up there instead of him. It was more I wish I had been around when Freddie was around. It wasn't even I wish Freddie was still around so I could be seeing him instead of Adam. I would want to see them both because they were both so friggin' amazing. Like, I cried because I was just so happy that I was seeing Roger Taylor and Brian May, just amazing. And it was a really fun concert. Everyone, I think it was a standing ovation when they came out for the encore, which is, of course, We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions. And, you know, I was up, I don't get up and dance much in concerts because I'm very aware of the people behind me. So I try to stay in my seat as much as I can. But when it came to Radio Gaga, which is one of my favourite songs, I think it's like a lot of people's favourite songs, I had to get up and clap along, and it was so much fun. And they played Killer Queen, and they played Another One Bites the Dust, and they played The Show Must Go On. The Show Must Go On to me is such an emotional song. I love it so, so much. And it's there's a song that I wasn't 100%, like, I've heard it before, but I wasn't as, what would be the word, knowledgeable about it. And that was, I don't even know the title of the song, which is really sad. But it was the one Freddie finished or released just 4 days before he passed away. And it talks about how that no one can live forever. And just listening to Adam Lambert singing it, and it was such an emotional thing, knowing that it was only a few days before he passed away. It's a song that sounds like he's coming to terms with his own mortality. Same with The Show Must Go On. That's another song that speaks volumes to me, that he's saying, you know, he's not always going to be around. That doesn't mean you don't stop because he's not around. And I think that's what the band, I don't know if they ever had the intention to keep going once Freddie passed away. I think John Deacon especially, I believe the reason he hasn't come back is because he knows it's not the same without Freddie. I believe that's the reason he hasn't come back. But it was just such a privilege to be able to see Brian May and Roger Taylor. Like, that is just, and Adam Lambert, just absolutely amazing, you know. Yeah, it's really hard to put into words because I was just so happy. Like, I'm a very emotional person, so I cry when I'm happy and I cry when I'm sad. So I was so happy to be there. And my dad was like, because Dad was the one that got me into Queen, was kind of like sitting next to me going, you know, just calm down a little bit, because I was getting so excited. And it's amazing. They had, before the encore of We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions, they had the footage of Freddie at Wembley Stadium in his yellow suit come up and do that, ayo. And the fact that he can still hold a crowd in the palm of his hand, even after he's passed away, is freaking amazing, you know. I'm a little bit more partial to the AO of Live Aid, but I think they didn't do that one because we saw it in Bohemian Rhapsody, and I think they recognised that a lot of, I don't know if they've gained a lot of new fans or if it's more that people that kind of like their music had more of appreciation for it, or it got the newer generation, which would be my generation and the next one, Gen Alpha, into their music. But yeah, I don't think, because their last tour, I believe, in Australia, and I could be wrong, was 2012 when they first got Adam Lambert. I think that was their last tour. And they may have been touring around the UK and America, I'm not sure. But I think they decided to do a world tour because after the movie they saw either that they had gained new fans, or that they realized that they still had so many fans. You know, I never ever thought, and neither did my parents, because even though they were around when Queen was really popular, they didn't have the chance to go and see them. And I asked my mum and dad, I said, you know, did you ever think you were going to be able to sing Queen? And Dad said once Freddie passed away, he never thought he'd get that opportunity. And that was kind of something I felt, because although I liked their music from a young age, I wasn't going to concerts in 2012. I think my first concert was that 2013 or 14. I wasn't allowed to go to them when I was little or younger. But, you know, just so worth it. I don't know if they'll do any more. I hope that if they ever come back, I'll go again and again. I will not stop seeing them. But, you know, I recognise that both Brian May and Roger Taylor, they're in their mid-70s, early 70s, you know, you could only do concerts for so long. And if this was their last world tour, then they've gone out on an absolutely amazing note. Yeah. I'm going to leave this one for there. So I'll see you in the next one.